मेना तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोविष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So I would like to welcome you all for today's session. So it is very good to see that every week you are gathering and you are hearing about the glories of the holy name. So if I see in my life that this kind of chance I could not get very much earlier. So I feel like I have wasted like so many years. But now in temples in morning, we get to hear about the glories of the holy name. But before that, I was not much aware about the glories of the holy name, importance of chanting. And that is why I see like myself, I wasted so much time, like uselessly, not chanting properly, not chanting attentively. But it is like great fortune for all of you, or for me also, that now we have realized the importance that holy name is everything. So we need to chant it attentively and clearly, pronounce it clearly, regularly hear the glories of the holy name. And that way we can try to develop the faith in the holy name. So for today's session, it is not systematic prepared talk on certain topic, but I would like to discuss like various points, various realization which I have heard from devotees, and which I myself I am trying to implement in my life. So we'll discuss on different aspects, and which will ultimately help us in chanting the holy name of the Lord. So just like we have all heard, like this quote, like if our heart does one's heart does not change, tears does not flow from his eyes, his body does not shiver, his hair does not end on end as he chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So just like we can consider our heart is like a iron or like a stone. And why it is happening? Because we are committing the offenses at the holy name of the Lord. So now how we can take this verse or this thing in our life? So we should, it is not that when we hear it, okay, let me try to artificially cry for the holy name. No, or let me imitate about this state which is described in this, right? But it is that we should become humble about our chanting, right? And if that does not happen, it means we are committing some offenses and we need to introspect ourselves, right? That is the indication of our state. So it is not that we become complacent, like, okay, hopeless, like it is not happening, so it means I can never do it. No, but it is saying that we are in very low condition. Now we have to upgrade ourselves. We have to try for that. This is the stage where we have to reach, and we have to make endeavor for that. We have to wake up early in the morning and try to chant, so that because in early morning we have very less distractions, right? So when we take this chanting the mood of service, right, service, so then we are able to chant properly. Then our consciousness is prepared, and this chanting has to be thought in terms of service to the spiritual master. It is not just like it is my sadhana and whatever practical seva I am doing, it is just a service to the spiritual master. No, like whatever services we are doing, whatever sadhana we are doing, it is just a service to the spiritual master, right? And when we think like I am trying to serve my spiritual master, I am trying to serve the holy name. So with that mood, we become humble, and with that we can chant the holy name in proper consciousness, proper mood. And definitely we will feel we are like advancing in devotional service, right? So just like we have heard, we should chant the 16 rounds, right? So we should not take it as a burdensome on our, like, okay, because I promised to my spiritual master or to my mentor, or because I have joined ISKCON, I have to chant these 16 rounds, somehow or other I have to finish my quota. So, but it should be done because it is the rarest opportunity that spiritual master, these Vaishnavas, has given me this precious holy name. Because ultimately it is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has given this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And now we have got this opportunity and this kind association, and let us take and try to fully take the advantage of this association, right? So in spiritual life, we should remember one thing, that first priority we should keep is to keep the first priority as first priority. It means just like every one of us, we know like chanting is our first priority. But even including myself, I'm also trying to implement this statement, that we should try to keep first priority as first priority, right? Because it is our first priority, but in our actions we show it like it is the least bothered about priority, and we have so many other things to do. But we should understand this is our first priority, and it prepares our consciousness. And with that consciousness, whatever services we are rendering, it will be fruitful. It will not be just service, it will be devotional service, right? Otherwise, it will be just like a hard labor. Just like in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Shram evi kevalam, right? But when we have developed that consciousness, that mood of a servant, and we are trying to serve the holy name properly, and then with that devotional consciousness, we can do everything nicely. So on the path, just like we all are sadhakas, we are struggling in chanting. So sometimes we find like it is the endless struggle, right? But we should not lose the hope. Suppose we may be feeling sleepy, we will not have the taste for the holy name, my mind will be distracting me in so many ways. But still, uh, we should not leave that hope. We should keep trying. Just like suppose, maybe you know, but personally I feel when I feel sleepy during chanting, so many of times mind says this time you are feeling sleepy, but now I will not sleep. right? And this struggle goes on and on. But this battle we can never win. I've personally seen in my life that many times previously I've tried, like, okay, I will not sleep now, I will chant attentively, but again mind will fall asleep, then again it will say, and it becomes like we fall asleep completely, sleep. So the best thing is that as soon as we realize that I'm going to sleep or sleepiness is there little, we can stand up and chant. And this is not like what people will think, that I'm standing up a chant and all are sitting. No, this is our situation. It may be due to bodily issues, or it may be because we have slept late, or we might be tired, or it is our due to our own anarthas. But we should humbly accept our situation and try to work on that. We should accept, okay, they are advanced, they can chant in, but let me try, let one level before, let me at least stand and chant. And even if while standing and chanting we may feel sleepy, then we can walk also. But the point is that we should hear attentively and try to chant. Because if we don't hear, just we are chanting unconsciously, it will not help in long term. And I have heard, like, maybe Bhaktivinoda Thakur talks about in Harinam Chindamani, that if we are sleeping in chanting, right, regularly sleeping, it will not decrease our anarthas, but it will increase our anarthas. So it is very important that whenever we feel sleepy, we should leave the same, that I have my status, always I chant while sitting, but I should not. Now, if I'm feeling sleepy, I should remain sitting. No, we can stand up and chant. And let's become more humble, be honest in that. This is my situation, right? And this is between me and the holy name. Nobody is bothered about us, right? So this is one thing. Second thing is chanting in prayerful and helpless mood. Chanting like I am a servant of the holy name and I am trying to serve the holy name with my chanting. Serve my spiritual master because I have given him my commitment. Now I have surrendered my life. I have to do as per his instructions. So we all are servant. And when we chant, just like before chanting, we can sing, let me serve the holy name. This itself just prepare our consciousness. Chanting in the mood of servant. And chanting in a helpless mood means there is no other way other than the holy name of the Lord. Because we cannot do tapasya even, right? Tapasya, this dan, or other methods of self-realization we cannot adopt in this holy name. This especially in this Kali Yuga, right? Our body does not support. We don't have much knowledge of the scriptures. We cannot even understand them because we don't have even that much intelligence is there to even read them properly, right? So what we can just do, we can just chant the holy name and call out helplessly for the mercy of the holy name, that you are my only savior, there is no other way out. So so just like Prabhupada in the verse of Sarvana Kirtan Vishnu Smaranam, he listed the 10 offenses in chanting portion. Different, all the 9 process, he described each processes, 9 process of devotional service. So in that purport, the last offenses, he write it little differently as usual. He writes, not to awaken transcendental attachment for the holy name even after hearing all the scriptural injections. So Prabhupada says, like, if you are so that even after hearing all these instructions, receiving the holy name from your spiritual master, practicing the holy name, and if you still don't develop attachment for the chanting of the holy name, this is the 10th offense. Then Prabhupada says, what is the solution to come out of from these offenses? Then he further says, there is no other way to atone for the offense, atone for any of these offenses. And what is the way? Only just like, for if we have offended some Vaishnavas, what is the solution? Not some atonement, but to ask the forgiveness from that particular Vaishnava. Similarly, if we have committed the offenses at the feet of the holy name, the only solution is just to chant the holy name 24 hours a day, or do chant as much as we can. And that chanting with offenses with while keeping in mind the offenses of the holy name will gradually free us from the offenses, and gradually will rise to the platform from namapra to namabas and to the Suddha Nam gradually, right? So it is not just a overnight process that okay, today I'll chant attentively, tomorrow I will develop the Krishna Prem. It is a gradual process, first thing. And second thing, this developing the taste for the holy name, it is not in our hand. The taste will be given by the holy name if he is pleased. The taste will be given by the blessing of the Vaishnavas if they are pleased. The taste will be given by the service to the spiritual master if our spiritual master is pleased with us. That taste for the holy name will be given by Krishna if he is pleased. So what we have to do, not to artificially try for the holy name, but serve sincerely. Then the taste will automatically come. So we should not chant that I have to develop the taste. No, that is not the criteria. We have to chant so that I can serve properly, and gradually, if holy name is pleased, he will give me with the blessing that I can develop the taste for it. But we have to try with all our efforts, right? So just like in Damodar Leela, we see this is Damodar month, and what Mother Yashoda did, she was why Krishna got bound up by Mother Yashoda. There were two reasons which are given by the acharyas. One is that she was trying constantly, that constant practice, that constant endeavor she was doing to bind the Krishna. And second, kripa is needed. What is that? That when Krishna is merciful towards us, Krishna's mercy. First is our endeavor, and second is Krishna's mercy. But how Krishna's mercy will come? By our constant endeavor, by seeing our endeavor, by seeing our sincerity. That how much sincerely we are trying to achieve that. How much sincerely we are trying to avoid these offenses. Right? How much sincere we are in developing the taste for the holy name. And when Krishna sees our sincerities, definitely he will give us blessings. And with that, by his grace, we can develop that taste. So I was recently reading about this purport to the verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.17, where there is a famous verse, Sonatam so Katha Krishna, Purna Sarva Kirtana, Hirdana Astohi Abdrani, Vidnoti Sohat Satam. So there Prabhupada write very beautiful this purport to that. I'll try to read out, and there is especially last line is very, very powerful. So there Prabhupada writes, message of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna are non-different from him. Like Krishna and his Katha is non-different from Krishna. And when therefore offenseless hearing and glorification of the Lord are undertaken, it is to be understood that Lord Krishna is present in the form of transcendental sound, which is as powerful as Lord personally. Right? So when we are offenselessly hearing and the glorification is also offenseless, definitely Krishna will reside in our heart. Krishna is personally present in that transcendental vibrations. So just like Prabhupada say, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Sikshastakam, like there is no fixed time for chanting the holy name. There is no proper rules and regulations, right? Anyone can chant the holy name with attention and reverence at his inconvenience, right? So finally, Prabhupada writes in that purport that Lord is so kind to us that he can be present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound. But unfortunately, we have no taste for hearing and glorifying the Lord's name and activities. Right? Lord is eager that I want to be present before my devotees. I want to present in the heart of my devotee. But why he's not present with us? Because we have not developed that taste for hearing and chanting. Right? And Prabhupada further writes, how to develop that taste. So Prabhupada says we have already discussed developing a taste for hearing and chanting the holy name. And what is the final line he writes? It is done through the medium of the service to the pure devotee of the Lord. Right? So he's saying how we develop the taste for hearing and chanting is developed through the medium of service to the pure devotee. And who is that pure devotee? Pure devotee is the spiritual master. And somebody may say, okay, we don't have much touch with the spiritual master. See, basic instruction we all have. We should try to follow that. And spiritual master is there, and along with his representatives are also there. And if we follow their instructions, if we try to do service through them to the spiritual master, definitely spiritual master will be pleased. And that service attitude will bestow us with the blessings to have the taste for the hearing for the holy name. So therefore, when any instructions we try to follow of the spiritual master, when we try to execute his instructions, although during execution of his instruction, our chanting, our sadhana may get hampered, right? Sometimes we find like, okay, spiritual master may say, you go to this temple, right? You try to develop that temple, do this. Although you may say, okay, I would like to do bhajan in Vrindavan, I would have a little taste for the chanting. But the taste will not increase, or that chanting will not be fruitful as much as if we try to serve the instruction of the spiritual master. Although spiritual master may ask us, you may go to a particular city, try to go there, right? So it is very important. If we follow the instruction of a spiritual master, definitely we'll develop that taste for the holy name, for the Krishna Katha. And definitely where Krishna is present, his holy name is being chanted, his devotees are there, that itself is Vrindavan. Vrindavan is not just a place, it is a consciousness. And we have to develop that consciousness. This consciousness cannot be developed until unless we get the mercy of a spiritual master. And perfect example we see from the life of these kind of devotees. And we see so many devotees are executing this instruction of spiritual master. We can get the inspiration from that. And particularly I uh, I've seen so many devotees, and especially I like to quote one example for that. Just like there was one devotee who was serving in Bangalore. So, and especially later on, he wanted to retire and he wanted to shift to Vrindavan. He has made his house in Vrindavan, and with his family, he was planning, okay, let me now retire and just chant and hear and just stay in the dham. So when he went to the spiritual master to ask for the permission, then spiritual master says, okay, you go to that particular temple, you serve there. And what you have to do? You have to do management. It is the most headache job, right? So this is not at all, sometimes it may not be pleasing to the devotee so much, because you have to take certain decisions, and it may not be pleasing to all, right? Because of certain issues, we know all that. But still he accepted that service. Okay, if the spiritual master is saying I should stay there, he stayed, right? So this is actually the mood of a servant, that what we have prepared. So this kind of consciousness does not come in just one day or 1 year, like that. It is a preparation of whole life, right? When such kind of instructions comes, we should be prepared that service to the spiritual master or executing the instruction of the spiritual master is topmost. And definitely when we are executing these instructions, definitely Krishna will be more merciful than directly staying of ourselves in dham and chanting there. Krishna will not be attracted towards that kind of sadhana. So sadhana, just like Prabhupada writes in various of his purports, sadhana has to be done under guidance. under the guidance of bona fide devotee who is a spiritual master or his representatives. So it is very important. And when we see such examples, we also get inspiration to follow though in the footstep of these great devotees. Right? So, Prabhupada further write in that purport that Lord is reciprocally respondent to his devotees. When he sees a devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance to the transcendental service of the Lord becomes here to hear about him. And Lords act from within a devotee in such a way that the devotee may go easily back to him. The Lord is more anxious to take us back to his kingdom than we can desire. And most of us don't desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a few men want to go back to Godhead. But anyone who desires to go back, Sri Krishna helps in all respects. So that is the point. Right? And second thing is how we show that humility, because to chant the holy name, we need to develop humility. Humility is shown by carrying out the order. Right? Sometimes we may feel that okay, we have received this kind of order from the authority, but I am not qualified. What should I do? So even though we are not qualified, even though it may be little inconvenience to us, we should still try to carry out the order. And when we try to carry out these order of the devotees, then gradually we develop that taste. Because how that taste is developed, because we show that humility, because humility is there, because even though we are not qualified, I'm trying to carry out that order because it is the instruction of the devotees. Just to carry out their instructions, I am doing this. So that humility is developed through this process. So and second aspect of chanting is that, like, just like we chant, sometimes we neglect hearing and reading. Right? It has to be in proportionate with the chanting. As much as chanting is important, reading the scriptures, shastra is also important, and hearing also from the devotees. Sometimes we see like many new people come to Krishna consciousness, many of them adapt to chanting, but they will not show the taste for, or they will not try to read and hear. But if they don't read and hear, they cannot serve in long term. Right? So because we don't know how we have to serve or we have to chant properly, what is the mood, what is the tattva of the holy name. So until all those things are cleared, we cannot chant the holy name properly. So that is why reading and hearing also very important. Right? And one more thing I would like to say, see, chanting attentively also means is not possible if we don't follow the regulative principles sincerely. Right? Just like in one of the purports in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada writes that one has to be pure in mind. But how can one be pure in mind? One has to be pure in actions. And how one can be pure in actions unless one is not pure in activities of sleeping, eating, mating, and defending. Right? So we cannot chant for long term, or like attentively, we cannot progress in devotional service, in devotional life, if we neglect these four regulative principles. And to the degree we follow these four regulative principles strictly, definitely we'll get the enthusiasm, and we can chant the holy name, we can serve in long terms, we can stay in devotional life for a longer period of time. And this chanting again has to be done in association of the devotees. Right? Chanting, hearing, reading, whatever we should do, it has to be done in the association of devotees. If we do it alone or whimsically and without association, without guidance of the devotees, then we can be easily tricked by Maya Devi. Right? And see, Maya Devi does not trick us by giving immediately non-Krishna conscious options. She will trick us by giving even Krishna conscious options only. Just like sometimes devotees will say, please, can you please do it? although it may disturb you or it may hamper your little sadhana, but we have to carry out that order, right? So that is the test, right? You may say, Prabhu, I want to chant 32 rounds, 64 runs, but I would not like to do services. But that is not how the way we progress in devotional service. So Maya Devi can trick us in many ways, but who will guide us? These devotees who are around us. They can protect us from getting distracted from the spiritual path. And one more thing I would like to say, see, when we chant in the association of devotees, devotees see our struggle. They see how we are struggling to be attentive in the holy name. And when they see our attentiveness in chanting the holy name, also when we try to sincerely do different services, so these devotees have compassion in their heart that such a devotee, he's serving so nicely, he's doing all kind of services, he's very humble, and he also trying to chant attentively. So they pray to Krishna that Krishna please bless him so that he can develop the taste. And when the devotees they pray to Krishna on our behalf, definitely we advance in devotional life, right? So our purpose is, see, we cannot directly please Krishna or directly please even uh, the holy name, but how we can do? Through these devotees, through the devotee association, through the instruction to the spiritual master, right? So we should try to take the shelter of the devotees, chant in devotee association, and that will help us in developing the taste for the holy name. So we can see this also, like how the association of spiritual master affects. Just like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu before going to Gaya, right? He was displaying his pastime in terms of he was a great scholar, great pandit. But when he took this initiation from Ishwar Puri, how he behaved, his behavior completely changed. He started chanting, and what he did, he developed different aesthetic symptoms. He became very serious about devotional life. Then for 1 year he started, they were doing Sankirtan in the house of Shiva's Pandit, right? And gradually then they went to the street and propagated the holy name of the Lord. So that seriousness, it means it is coming from the spiritual master. So we should, those who are initiated, they should take it very seriously, that commitment of initiation. And those who are not initiated, they should try for the initiation. That without initiation, without taking the shelter of a pure devotee, it is not possible to advance in Krishna consciousness or even stay in Krishna consciousness, right? So with this, I would like to end here. So thank you so much. May have so whatever good you like in my talk, you can take with that, try to apply in your life. I am also trying to apply these principles, and please pray for me so that I can also do it properly. And if I committed any mistakes, so please forgive me for that. So thank you so much. Sugar Prabhu, you can please do some comment or like that. I'm just Hare Krishna.
Really appreciate it. Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So we thank you very much, Prabhuji. It was very nice, very practical, very relevant tips you have given us so that we can improve our chanting, because the things which you shared are very practical in a sense that these are the things we often may miss out. So how attentive chanting is important, how service attitude is important, and whom to serve, how to serve, what should be our mood while chanting. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. I'll request, devotees, if they have any comments or any question, they can unmute themselves or drop the question on chat, or, so I see here some comments on the chat. Sudha Matari, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, very nice points that I like were that Maya Devi can trick us with the spiritual options as well, apart from material options. Another point is that we must be pure in consciousness to develop taste in holy name, for which we must strictly follow 4 regulative principles. Your servant Sudha. Harshat Prabhu is writing, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for your eye-opener talk. Very practical aspects of covered. Please do bless us for your training. So, really thankful, Pradyumna Bhakta Prabhuji. I see there is one more point here from Vikas Prabhu. 2 points I know. Chanting in the mood of servant and chanting in the mood of seva. Yeah. So we should consider chanting not just as a sadhana, but also as a service to spiritual master. So we want to thank Pradyumna Prabhuji for your time, for sharing your wisdom, and please bless all of us, so that we can advance, we can chant sincerely. Thank you very much. This way is Pradyumna Prabhuji ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam.